Hey everyone, I'm Kevin with Victory 4x4. In this video, we're going to be assembling and installing our adventure bed rack. So this rack we are going to be installing here on the shop Tundra. However, we did design this to fit most mid and full-size truck platforms, with the only real variations being in the mounts down here on the bed rails and the overall width up top. So we'll cover that in the video on the different mounting styles as well as the width adjustment available in the rack. So just check out our website for more detail on the dimensions to confirm that this fits with your application. So here we've kind of laid out all the parts that you're going to receive and everything you should need to get this installed. Now we tried to make this rack very simple to both assemble as well as install on the vehicle. So for example, your uprights are going to be the same for all four corners. So it doesn't matter where you place these, you can go ahead and kind of get them laid out. Then the cross section that's going to mount between the two uprights and tie both of those together are also going to be identical, both front and rear. So it doesn't matter which one you grab there. Then you're going to have these four front to rear accessory rails. We're going to have the narrower ones that you can see here with just the single slots throughout the center. Those we're going to recommend as the tops, followed by the wider accessory rails that are going to have a double row of slots as well as some vertical slots here to mount all your accessories and gear. Now this entire rack is going to assemble just using the provided 3/8 hardware, so you'll just need a 9/16 wrench and maybe a socket to get this entire thing built. So we're going to get started by assembling these front and rear cross member sections. So for that I'm just going to grab one upright and then that center crossbar. The upright will slide easily down inside of the crossbar. And then using the 3/8 carriage bolts, you can drop one in this top slot and loosely install a nut here on the bottom. And then using the square holes on both the front and back of this crossbar, you can install 4 more of those with the nut here on the inside. Now with all 5 of those bolts in place, you want to leave this just a little bit loose right now so that we can then adjust this width once we have this up on the vehicle. So the assembly process for the other 4 corners are going to be the same. So you can go ahead and finish getting those assembled. So once you have both uprights on, it should look something like I have here. And then we can take this and get it loosely installed on the truck. So if you're following along exactly as we're building this, you're going to be installing that full front and rear cross member assembly up here. I just have one loose leg to kind of show you how these mounts go for now. So if you are equipped with a trail rail style accessory rail like we have here in this Tundra, you can simply press in the little tab and pop these caps out of the back end. And then you'll want to find the stainless bolt tab style brackets we have here that we provide. In these you're going to need to install the 5/16 carriage bolts and then simply slide them down into the trail rail. You'll need one of these for the front, one of these for the rear. And then you can take that upright and cross member assembly and line those carriage bolts up with the vertical slot here in the mounting upright and install the 5/16 flange locking nuts to hold that in place. So then if your truck is not equipped with the accessory rails, you'll need to find the powder coated black clamp brackets. Again, the 5/16 carriage bolts that we used previously in the trail rail style. Those will just pass through like I have here, and then they'll mount to the outside of the mounting surface on the upright, just like so, and then again install the flange nuts here on the inside. So once you've determined your mounting style, you can grab this whole cross member assembly. You'll place it up here on the bedside, and then you can just extend it out to reach the full width of the bed. Now just be careful as you're pushing one side out that you're not pulling it off the other side so that it falls down in the bed. And then just one thing I want to point out here, if you are running our bedside molly panels already, it may be beneficial to just loosen a couple of the mounting fasteners on that to give you just a little bit of compliance as you get this installed. Once you've done all that, it's just a matter of getting this pushed out tight against the side of that bed rail and getting your bracket slid up into place. Then with your 1/2" socket, you can just kind of lightly snug these up for now, just enough to hold that in place, because you may need to make some minor front to rear adjustment once you're installing those side accessory rails. Now you're ready to install both the side as well as top accessory rails. So go ahead and grab the side rail. You can hold it up between here. If it's not fitting, you may have to make some front to rear adjustment of those cross member sections. And then again, 3/8 carriage bolt here through the side. You're gonna put 2 in the front, 2 in the rear. I'm just gonna get 1 started on each side right now just to kind of hold this in place. And then as you can see, you've obviously got plenty of slotted mounting locations for this, so it can be as high or low as needed for your specific gear. So then lastly, you can jump up top and install these upper crossbars very much in the same fashion that the side rails go on. These, however, will mount with just a single hole at each end. Now again, up here we've got plenty of slotted mounting locations so that these can mount at many various widths to accommodate whatever your tent or gear might be. The one thing I want to point out here is just that if you're going to be running these kind of in the furthest outermost set of slots, you'll simply use the same bolt there through the upright cross member assembly and the front to rear crossbar. So all that's left to do at this point is tighten everything up. So if I haven't mentioned it already, this is pretty much the only time during this install that you'll need a different tool. So it'll be a 1/2" socket here to tighten up all the mounting clamps and brackets for the uprights. Then you'll move to tightening the crossbars here in both the front and rear cross members. Only thing to note here is that you just want to pay attention to the exposed slot on either side and just make sure this is centered before you tighten it up. And then again for this, you're just switching back to that 9/16. Then lastly, you can tighten up the side rails as well as the top accessory rails. So from here, all that's left to do is load it up with all your gear. Now, if you guys have any questions about this rack install or any other product we offer here at Victory 4x4, feel free to reach out to us. You can send us an email at info@victory4x4.com or give us a phone call at 269-459-8447.